beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, we're here today to talk about Ready to Love. And unfortunately, I'd be forgetting about the show on Friday. So what you are getting will be my initial reaction. We about to watch this together. We start off with the guy with the light eyes that we haven't really seen. However, what's her name? Jonika or whatever. She says she likes him, but we haven't seen him go on any dates that I can recall. If I'm wrong, y'all gonna let me know, and that's okay. Let me know if I'm wrong. But he's in the confessional saying that he's excited to go out with the bros because they're all going through the process together, and I'm like, we ain't seen you go through the process, sir. Like, not at all. I can't recall. But anyway, we have the guys standing around fishing, and I think, God, I think his name is Blake, y'all. The irritating, annoying one with the mohawk. I believe his name is Blake. See, this is what happens when I don't make up nicknames for them. I don't know their names, and I feel like OWN should be putting their names up every time they show them because we don't know these people. We don't know them. But he's talking about Sue Ann or whatever, and she alright. He didn't say that, but that's kind of what it sounded like. And we have Tony. I think his name's, yeah, I can't remember these people's names. The little thick ass guy. He said that his connection, he got a couple of them in his sight. And it's so funny because I've watched other reviewers that feel like he's a player. And even the way he speaks or whatever. Like, I watched Simone and Rashad. And Rashad is like, yeah, he funny because I got some friends that talk like him, like real kind of smooth and cat daddy-ish or whatever. I never picked up on it before, but he does do that. It's kind of annoying. And then they're asking Mark Anthony. And once again, they skip over the guy with the light eyes. They don't ask him about his connections or anything. And I'm like, because you are here, but not here for real. So they ain't even ask who he was connected to because I would love to know. We haven't seen him. But Mark Anthony, of course, says Destiny. I think I got her name right, the flight attendant. And then up comes Tommy. Y'all, I was totally wrong. The one that I was sure I had her name right, Destiny, that is not her name. Her name is Mercedes, apparently. So I was right about Blake. That's his name. And Tommy comes up. He's like, who put this together? They ended up having a poll for him because I'm like, y'all knew he was coming. So, of course, he wants to know what's going on, who everybody's feeling. Y'all, so we have Jeffrey going out with Mark Anthony. They do a mechanical bull. Get somebody else to do it. I'm not doing that, but she didn't like it either. And then we have, his name is Blue, the one with the eyes. His name is Blue. He's finally on a date with someone, and he's on a date with Gums. Can't remember her name. You know what? I'm not even gonna try. But it's so funny because he's asking her what she like to do, and she's pretty much telling him everything she don't like to do. She's like, listen, I'm not an outdoorsy person. And what's funny is that I'm with her. I'm with her on almost all of this. She's like, I don't want to go camping. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And he's like, yo, she says, I don't want to do fishing. Now, he's the one that put together the fishing trip. So he's like, hold on, hold on, hold on. And she's like, I don't understand it. I think it's weird. And I'm like, okay, obviously he's stopping you because he likes that. That's something that he's into. Why are you now putting it down? Just say, if it's not something that you like to do or whatever, because you don't like bugs, you don't like animals. And once again, I'm with her on that, but I'm never going to just sit there and give you all negatives. And that's what she was doing. And he was taking it all in for real, for real. He's like, so let's say I, suggest we go to a cabin. I ain't going. Don't want to go to a cabin because there's bears, there's raccoons, there's snakes. And he's like, no. It sounded like he was finna say, like, not that type of cabin. But she didn't let him get it out. But he just looked very like, And she's talking about, we gonna work through it. I say, yeah, he gonna work through it. All right. You are a no, sis. You are a no. Because it's okay to have preferences but he seems like an outdoorsy nature type. That's why he was saying when what he likes about fishing is nature is all around you or whatever. So I just don't feel like they're going to be a good match anyway. They don't like the same things at all. But she got to come different. And it's surprising because she hasn't been annoying or doing a whole lot wrong because I don't remember really saying anything negative about her except the hair and the what's that thing? the headband with the hair inside and outside the headband. It was just too much hair. But other than that, she's been cool people. But sis, you got to tone it down with the negatives. You got to come with some positives and say what you do like as opposed to what you don't like. All right, so part of Jeffrey and Mark Anthony's conversation was, the fact, of course, that she's a mom. And she asked him, how would you, feel about blending families and that sort of thing. He don't have children. He said he comes from a blended family and he loves his brothers and sisters, and so that's fine. And as soon as he said that, she's like, so you wouldn't mind? Like, you're not opposed to it? Like, it's okay with you? And I'm like, calm down, girl. And he's like, yeah, I'm not opposed to it. But then in the confessional, he says he has never dated a woman with kids. So he just needs to be very careful with that, which is true, number one. But number two, it just seems like that's going to be a deal breaker, like a no for him, because I just don't see it. Oh, but flip side, she's in the confessional like, yes, he has shot up 1 billion points. I guess because he said he's okay with the kids. And I'm thinking to myself, girl, he was really just saying whatever he needed to say in that moment. He is not okay. He is not okay with the kids. Yo, so we're going to wrap up. Her name is Marcia, the one with the gums and blue. And so in the confessional, he's saying, listen, she's cool people. She has no filter. She'll talk to you about anything. But some of her do's and don'ts already come up as a red flag to me. So I put her in the friend zone already. So he's just not about her, which we knew. But we get a glimpse back again at what they were talking about. And she's like, I already said I wouldn't date nobody with kids. And he's like, so should I leave now? And she's like, listen, why complicate your life more than it has to? She literally sat there, it looks like, unless it's editing, the entire time saying everything that she don't like. And I mean, she was like doubling down on it. Like, listen, no, I don't want to date somebody with kids because why complicate? Oh my God. I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say, but girl, hopefully you look at this and you learn. All right, y'all. I think I forgot to mention that Tommy is giving them a yacht cruise or whatever. So now it's the date, the time of the yacht cruise. They come and he's telling them, he's giving them the rules and everything. And before they get on the boat, he lets them know that someone has tested positive for COVID. And it's Curly Q. Curly Q Andre. Listen, hopefully he's fine. This was a long time ago, so I'm sure he's okay. We haven't heard anything different. So, oh my God, we don't have to look at the Curly Q no more. I ain't mad at it. However, hopefully he's fine. But who was it? Oh, Cynthia, the one that was crying last episode. She is, not upset that he not going to be here because he dropped out totally. He didn't just say, okay, while I'm sick. He's just dropped out the process. So Cynthia and Jeffrey both said that he was like their number ones, and they're kind of upset that he's not, coming back. But excuse me, I just feel like y'all got his phone number. Just call and check on him. Check on his curls. All right, so on the yacht we have Cynthia and a chocolate drop named Anthony, who we've seen him, but we haven't seen him on a date or anything. So I'm like, I have no idea who this guy is. But he's a chocolate drop with a nice little beard. Not bad looking at all. And he seemed very mannerable, nice and everything. So they sit down, and once again, I just like Cynthia. I just like her answers. I just feel like she's real. She was saying that, the type of guy she's looking for. Well, not the type of guy she's looking for, but her assessment of men would be that if you have children and you don't change, they don't change you in some kind of way, then there's no changing you. I can't say if I agree or not because I've never really looked at it that way. Like, I've never really even put any thought into that. If you change with children, like, I assume you would. You would want to treat your girls well. You would want to, like, it's a different kind of love that is unlocked when you have children. So, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to think about it right now. But that's her thing. So, okay. But she also says she wants to have a guy that wakes up and chooses her every day. And so in the confessional, y'all know I like her, but I got to call out because in the confessional, she's like, yeah, it was good to sit down with him because, she talks slow or whatever. And, I got to see how he thinked. And I said, No, you did not just say thinked and not clean that up, ma'am. But I figure she's going to watch it back and she's going to be like, oh, what did I do? Because it does happen. Sometimes when you're just talking, on the fly, some things come out. But she didn't even stop. Like, she didn't even pause. Like, thinked. No, no. But so he says he has a daughter, and he wants to be his daughter's first love and treat her how, and show her how she's supposed to be treated. They end up liking each other because they like, the conversation. It was nice. Y'all, so then we have Jeffrey hugging Mark Anthony. He's telling her she smells good or whatever, and they have a little bit of chemistry going there. But then we have Sue talking to a couple of guys, and she's talking to Big Slow. Yo, can I call him Big Slow, please? Because he really is big and he talks so slow. So slow that he sounds slow. He's the one that was on the horses last episode. But Blake goes over and grabs Susu from them and sits down with her. She looked cute, except I don't like the white sandals. Like, you guys, I'm sorry, I just don't feel like black women. Like, I'm probably gonna get killed, but I don't like black women in white shoes. I just don't. I'm sorry. But well, can I say all white shoes? Yeah, yeah. I can't think of a pair, even strappy sandals. I don't like it. I don't like it. But she sits down and he tells her that, he appreciates the way she kind of broke the news to him or whatever. And he felt like she went above and beyond to be nice about it, which I agree she did. All right, you guys. I want to go back real quick before I move on with that. I want to go back real quick because I know I'm gonna get killed about the black women in white shoes. Now that I think about it, I just don't think I like white shoes. Period. Like I can't even think of white women that I like in white shoes. I cannot think of one pair of white shoes that I like. So maybe that's it. Not just a black thing. But yeah, he felt like she went above and beyond. He got her a piece of jewelry, got her a cute little, it looked like a little bangle. Bracelet. She was very appreciative. And it's so weird because Blake, when the camera catches him off guard, he always looks weird. Like he's not even really present or there. Did any of y'all catch that look when the camera panned back to him? He was kind of looking off. She was saying, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate it." And he was kind of looking off into space. And then when he realized the camera's on him, he turns back to her and smiles, this like phony smile. And I'm just like, "Oh, he's a weirdo." And I was just about to give him a compliment, like he's not bad. I mean, he's not a bad looking guy. The hair is a bust. It is awful. And his attitude and his creepiness and all right, we gonna get off Blake, but y'all get it. Let me know if I'm the only one who catches that. That wasn't the only time that he does that. I feel like every time they show him and he's caught off guard, he's not present in the moment. He is really not feeling any of these women. All right, so then we have Tony. Yeah, the thick ass one, Tony. And girl, I was gonna call y'all all girl. Sorry, but he really does. He's like, yeah, babe, whatever you want, whatever you like. I'm just like, that would be so annoying, such a turn off. But he's talking to the girl Morgan, the Bratz doll looking girl. She's so pretty to me, and he's saying in the confessional that she doesn't have enough confidence because she's expressing that she feels like everybody likes him. Everybody sees what I see in you, and she's calling him my baby. And my baby's telling all the girls that he want them, and all the girls want my baby. And I'm like, slow down, sis, slow down. And he's just like, I'm not doing that. And so yeah, in the confessional, he's saying she needs more confidence and all of that. I don't know how this is gonna work out. She's saying that she feels abandoned and she feels neglected because he doesn't really, I guess maybe they don't talk on the phone as much or something. I don't know. But she's saying that maybe he mingles too much. He's not nurturing his connection. She understands that he has to see other people, excuse me, in the process, but he's not nurturing her and giving her the attention that she craves. And I'm like, okay, but she just needs some more connections. Like, don't put all your eggs in his basket. If he's running around, mingling or whatever and mixing, you need to do the same thing, girlfriend. So it's just disheartening to see. She really is a pretty girl. And for her to just sit around waiting for one person is not cool. She needs to know that, she's able to get out there and see other people as well. That's the whole point of it. But as he's leaving, she's giving, him a hug and she's like, don't stay gone too long and all that. Girl, you gotta calm down. Like, you can't let them know. Never let them see you sweat. And that's what she's doing right now. And it's kind of becoming a turnoff to him from what he's saying in the I was gonna say in the inbox, in the what do you call that? In the confessional. All right, y'all. So they play this game, and Mark Anthony pulled a card where he's supposed to give his strongest connection a foot rub, and then we have Jeffrey and Mercedes looking like where he going, and he's like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm giving y'all two. First of all, that's not what the game said. Like I would be the only one in there like no, no. But he goes to Jeffrey first and, does her little foot rub and then he goes to Mercedes. And they were both looking like when he said he was gonna do two, they were both looking like, but I mean it was fine. It was all in good fun. Yeah, so I'm not mad at Bratz Dow. I'm not mad at Morgan. She got the next card. She was supposed to pick out the three sexiest people there. She looks at Tony and then she looks away and she's like, Lyndon, number one. Tony over there looking just butthurt. He's like, okay, okay, I'm sure I'm next. Then she picks Gums. What's her name? Marcia. And then she's like, and last but not least, I'm gonna pick. And when she said I was like, Lord, she finna get up and go to him and call him her baby. No, she got up and said, my goddamn self. And I said, yes, ma'am. Sucker punched that ass. Like, oh my gosh, she gut punched him. And he felt it. He was in a confessional like, oh, she said Lyndon is the best. Like, I was caught off guard. Yeah, yeah. Bring him back down to earth, sis. She did good on that one. I ain't mad. All right, so the last card was Jeffrey, and it said for her to ask her strongest connection for a kiss. So, we get this whole suspenseful thing going around the room, and she stops and says that, it's Mark Anthony. And everybody's looking crazy. He comes over. Of course, Mercedes looking crazy. He comes over and he, picks her up by her hand or whatever and gives her a couple of pecks on the lips. Like, I don't think he would have stopped if she wouldn't, like, she was kind of trying to pack and move. And Mercedes was like, But then we have Big Slow in the confessional, like, as soon as she did that, I was like immediately turned off because you could have came to a full stop. And I'm like, you're a dumbass. It's a game. And why would she's the one that asked him for the kiss? Why would she come to a full stop? I mean, she could have been like, yeah, on my cheek or whatever, but they grown. If she want to give him a peck, then this is the same thing that happened last season with the chocolate guy. I can't remember. He turned out to be well, I won't call him an awful person, but y'all know that one girl, the brown girl that was running around kissing everybody, which, yeah, that was a little bit too much, but he's like, oh, I was turned off because she was kissing everybody. I mean, for her, I can see it, but this was just a game, and it was a peck. Dude, get over it. But I think you were just hurt because you weren't the one that was picked. Ain't nobody trying to kiss you, Big Slow. All right, next up we have Corvea. She's the one that likes the money, y'all, and Big Slow. And they have a nice conversation. It wasn't about money. Believe it or not, she didn't bring up his money at all. So we got to see another side of her, which was cool. Cause I think she's a decent girl. I just think she, her her values and stuff may be, a little, I don't know. But she's talking to him about his role model being his dad, and he's like, yeah, he's my role model. She says her role model is her mom because her mom made her leave. She ain't try to keep her in the house. She let her leave early, and she feels like that's a way of spoiling her as well because she wanted what's best for her. And I'm like, I'm confused as shit. Like, I'm confused. Your mom wanted you out the house and that was spoiling you? And I feel like she's confused too. So y'all stay with me because in the next breath she says, so while it may have felt like tough love sometimes, so I feel like it felt like tough love to her when she was young. It wasn't this whole, oh my gosh, she's still spoiling me. She wants what's best for me. And maybe that could just be because you're young and you don't get it. But as she grew up, that's the spin she put on it, is that, yeah, she wanted what's best for me. And I don't know that if that's what she's telling herself to make herself feel better about the fact that, her mom maybe didn't coddle her as much. She said she came from a low income family, and they had hardships and adversities, but she learned how to live through them and made her who she is. So all that's great. But girl, you was kind of double speaking on that mama spoiling me but putting me out thing. Y'all, Lyndon is sitting with the brats down Morgan, and everybody is baby to her. I get it a little bit because I babe and baby people mostly in my family. I mean, I'll babe and baby somebody, maybe somebody single, because that's just kind of how I'll talk a little bit, but I'm not just like in your face all the time, like, oh, thank you, baby. Oh, hey, baby. Okay, baby. And that's what she's doing. That's a little, I don't like it. But she's doing that to him, and he's giving her the BS of, yeah, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but here. And I'm like, girl, move. He's going to try to smooch you next. Like, you're next. He sees that you giving out kisses and he's the smoocher, so you better move. Then we have, what's her name? Jeffrey sitting over with Mark Anthony and somebody else. And then Blake comes over. And he's like, can I borrow this beautiful young lady? You could tell she didn't want to go. And she's just like, oh, I got to go, leave my comfort zone. And he's like, yeah, let's go upstairs. Why we got to go upstairs? I'm like, girl, don't go upstairs with him. Don't go upstairs and be alone with him. Don't do it. And I strongly disagree with what he had on. I don't know what's happening with his high water pants, his pixie pants, and his like booties. He had on like these little booties, these ankle booties. I ain't like it. So yeah, let's see what he's about to talk about. I mean, we know he mad, so hopefully she didn't go upstairs with him. Let's see. Okay, y'all. So it looks like they did end up going upstairs, but there were people up there. And listen, I was with Jeffrey on this whole thing. This fool sits her down and says, listen, so I heard that you've been saying some things and I'm a little, confused and upset and hurt. And she's like, hurt? He's like, yeah. And she's like, well, what have you heard? Well, I don't know because I wasn't there. And she's like, well, what are the things that hurt you? Well, I don't want to say, but like he just sounds so idiotic. He really did. And she was making him just sound so stupid because she wasn't raising her voice. She wasn't anything. And she's just like, so you're hurt, but you don't want to tell me why you're hurt. And he's like, I just feel like, I wasn't there. So, you just said something. What did I say? And I totally understand her. I'm not going to say yes or no when I don't know what you were told. Like, let me know what you said, what somebody told you. I'll own it or I won't. Like, but, so then she says, why are you talking to me right now? And that means what are you trying to tell me? Like if you sitting me down, which is what she said in the confessional, if somebody comes grab you to say, okay, let's talk, let me sit you down, you don't sit them down and then say, hey, I'm upset with you. Can you tell me why I'm upset with you? Do you know? Don't you? No, you spit it out. Like, what are you mad about? So he ended up getting in his feelings when she said that he took it the wrong way, where he was just like, oh, I shouldn't be talking to you then. Maybe I shouldn't. And she's like, okay. And he's like, well, we're just going to leave it at that. Okay. Like, she don't give a shit. And she definitely shouldn't because he's goofy. Like, he is just, uh, he can't even articulate himself enough to say what was wrong with him. What did she say? Listen, throw the whole Blake away. Throw him away. All right, so real quick, we got Jonique and Smooth Tony, and she's crying about being single for so long and wanting a connection with somebody, wanting kids. She's 30. He looked very uncomfortable. He did not know what to say. He's just like, man, you making a brother kind of, feel some things or whatever. I ain't felt in a long time. Like he's just not the, I can't say he's not the nurturing type or whatever because I don't know. Maybe it just depends on who the woman is. But he didn't really give her a whole heck of a lot. Like, even though Curly Q was annoying as all get out, he did do a good job at, consoling, what's her name, Cynthia, when she was crying or whatever. But so yeah, they have their little connection. He gets up, gives her a hug, and it looks like he kind of kissed her on her shoulder because, of course, she has on like a strappy dress or whatever, spaghetti straps, and I'm like, get your head and your face and your mouth out of my shoulder. Don't do it. You guys, so Jeffrey goes upstairs and she's talking to Sue Ann and Big Slow. Y'all, Sue Ann's face look. I said I wasn't gonna do it, but she do. She just got a really old looking face. oh my gosh, that's not nice. That's not nice. But anyway, so she's talking to her, and she's just like, yeah, he set me down, but he didn't want to say what was said or whatever. And Suen is like, well, are you sure that's what he said? Because he said that he didn't say any of those things. And Jeffrey's like, in the confessional, she's like, oh, I can see a cape. She's like, Suen has a cape for him, and they do this music or whatever. It was funny. But yeah, Suen is just kind of like, well, you could tell that she's defensive or whatever, and she because Jeffrey is like, well, if he gives you a compliment, that just means it's not coming from an authentic place or whatever. And I'm like, don't tell her that. He just gave her more than a compliment. He just gave her a bracelet, so don't be playing with her. And you could tell she was offended. So, and then Jeffrey, I gotta call you on one thing you said, which was the if he choose me to be his person, that's fine, but don't tell me that you're not gonna be authentic with all these other women. Do you care? I mean, really, do you care? It's possible that she cares. If she really don't like him like that, then it's like, listen, this fool is on here just playing and playing with y'all. Let's get him off. But I don't know that that's the reason why she revealed, what was coming out. I don't know. You just never know people's motives. But yeah, we have them kind of going back and forth a little bit, and I'm here for it. Y'all, so he got heated, and I can't lie. Jeffrey was giving her the business. Her and that voice, it's so irritating, but she was giving her the business because Susu, who you think you are? Like, honestly, you need to pipe down. This is not your boyfriend. Why are you caping so hard for him, for real, for real? And so she's talking over Jeffrey while Jeffrey's trying to talk to Big Slow and explain to him that Blake wasn't opening his mouth or saying anything. And she's like, why are you not listening to me? She's like, listen, I'm listening to you. However, I'm trying to finish what I was saying first. And she's like, okay, go ahead. Okay, then Sue tells her that she's trying to help her. Jeffrey says, I don't need you to help me. And she's like, I'm just trying to let people know or help you with the story. And I don't need you to help me with the story. I don't need to convince you that I'm not lying or whatever. I'm not dating you. And she's like, oh, and I don't want to date you either. I'm like, Sue, you should hush. You should really hush because she's killing you right now. And she did. She killed her. And all Sue could do was just be like, oh, okay. Yeah, shut your face because you don't know. Like, you're the go-between. And you don't know who's lying. This girl just said the same story twice, exactly the same. Doesn't mean she couldn't be, put. You know what? I do want to point something out, you guys, because I listen to other reviewers. I do. And again, I'm open to certain things. And who was it? I can't remember who it was. It may have been Rashad or whatever, but somebody, Little Black Book, one of them could have said that she may have be taking what Blake is saying wrong, unless he definitely came out and said my connection is you. I don't really want, like, if he really really said that, then okay. But if he's literally just asking her about her dates that she went on and stuff, that's normal. Like, they're gonna be like, oh, who'd you go out with tonight? How'd you feel about him? Who's your top? Like, those are normal questions that they ask. So unless she's putting 20 on 10 and lying, I'm just gonna go with she's not lying. How about that? I'm just gonna go with Blake's lying. All right, y'all. So the men deliberate, and we get to see who's feeling who, and we got some changes. Lyndon is liking the Bratz girl Morgan. Tony didn't pick Morgan. Tony picked Gums, Marcia, and Jonique because she cried. And I guess, ladies, It's seeming like if you want a good man or a man, period, just cry. But Blue with the eyes, he also picked Jonique. And of course, we know Blake picked Sue because she's the only one that likes him, and he don't want to go nowhere. He don't really like that girl. Who else? Big Slow picked Corvea, and I think that's it. Oh no, I do want to point out that Mark Anthony picked Jeffrey. He said they have a lot of fun together. It's very natural, and that's kind of a little twist, you guys, because we really thought he was feeling Mercedes like that. So Jeffrey came in and worked her way up. All right, so in deliberation with the guys, it got heated because they wanted, well, we have Big Slow wanting to use the lifeline for Corvea, who he just started talking to or whatever. And we have Mark Anthony saying, nah, it's too soon. Like, why are we using that now? And we already knew that this was going to be an issue because it has to be a unanimous decision. Like, everybody has to agree. So they're like going back and forth. They're yelling, screaming. Big Slow Big Slow, you can go and you can take her with you because at some point you guys are leaving. Corvea is leaving at some point. She really is. She brings absolutely nothing. You're the only one who likes her, and she's the only one who likes you as far as it looks. But they go back and forth. Then we have Lyndon saying, listen, if you feel that strongly, then I'm for it. And I'm like, well, who are you? Like, you don't get the vote. You're not the president of the group. So we don't know what's going to happen. It's a commercial break. I can't even remember who the other one that was down there with her. Is it Marcia or whatever? And Tony's like, nah, I want to see her again. So they're kind of back and forth about that. But it's so funny because they didn't say Jeffrey. A lot of them said they're not connecting with Jeffrey, and she wasn't the one of the two that they said they were picking for though. And then I think Blake was like, Jeffrey, Jeffrey. I'm like, Blake, sit your ass down. Jeffrey ain't going nowhere this week, sir. All right, you guys. So wrapping it up, we have Corvea, Jeffrey, and Marcy, whatever her name is, down at the on the bottom, and Tony's the one telling them who's gonna go home or whatever. Of course, they left it in a excuse me. That was so rude, and I'm sorry. I'm not gonna edit it out. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm just trying to wrap it up. Um, it ended in a cliffhanger, so we don't know who's going home. We don't know if they're ending up saving Corvea or whatever, which would be a waste to me, but it's not up to me. But yeah, you guys, again, I was entertained by this one. It's better than some of the other seasons, so I'm not mad at it. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next video, which will be Real Housewives of Potomac. You guys, it's my birthday weekend. My birthday is Tuesday, so I'm really trying to do something tonight and turn up tonight for the weekend. So what should I be doing? Should I do dinner? Should I do, what should I be doing? The cocktails, definitely. But what else? But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for Potomac. And if you have not already, please consider subscribing. It is absolutely free of charge. And thumbs up the video. It does wonders for my analytics. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Smooches.